Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Jennifer's Tale, My Life as a Crossdresser. I, of course, am Jennifer, saying hi, welcome to another episode of my podcast. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you for watching this episode. I hope you find something of interest if you're a crossdresser or an ally or significant other or trans. I think my experiences, my thoughts, my feelings about being a crossdresser kind of reach out to lots of people. So I think you would find something of interest here. Please do me a favor, like this video, subscribe to my channel, and please check out my other podcast episodes. I think you'll really enjoy them. If you're listening to this on Spotify or iTunes or wherever you download your favorite podcasts, thank you for downloading this episode. Once again, if you're a crossdresser, this podcast is specifically for you. If you're an ally or a friend of a crossdresser, I think you'll find a lot of useful information or kind of getting into the thoughts or into the thought processes of your cross-dressing friend. And I think you'll find a lot of useful information here. Please do me a favor, subscribe to this podcast, write a review on iTunes, and let me know what you think. You can always send me an email at jenniferstalepodcast, all one word, at gmail.com. And I'll respond, leave comments on the YouTube videos. Let's get into this episode. This episode I've entitled Finding Friendship. Now the reason I'm calling it this is just because as I'm recording this video or recording this podcast, I've just gotten home from having a really nice first contact meeting with another crossdresser. Now, for those of you who are at home, thinking about going out into public, wanting to meet other girls like yourselves, you may be going, well, how do I go about doing this? Well, and nowadays, and with social media and Facebook and everything else, it's actually pretty easy. If you go on Facebook and you just start looking around, finding groups that are about crossdressers. I know on my Facebook page, I'm a member of probably about 20 different groups of transgender and primarily cross-dressing Facebook groups. And there's ones that fit all categories. Now, that's an easy way to just kind of go through and find other girls like yourself, friends, people to reach out to, finding people that you have stuff in common. Being a cross-dresser, that's like the main thing to have in common. And you just might happen to look at their about info. That's what I usually do. Since I live in Minnesota, if I'm just looking around and if I happen to either have a girl reach out and want to friend me, I'll look at her profile and see where she's at. If she lives in Minnesota somewhere, definite add right off the bat. Just because it's somebody who's local, somebody that might want to reach out to me, being another local person, or somebody that might be in my area that I can meet at some point in time. Any girls that you see, any other cross-dressers, you can reach out to and kind of friend or send a friend request. People, as far as getting friend requests, it kind of varies. I'm somebody who, for the most part, if you send me a friend request, chances are I'm going to accept it. I don't really go into looking up people's background information to get a lot about them. I kind of trust them at their word. I have other friends who are being a little bit more picky. If they don't really know you very well, they might send you a message back and ask you some questions. They might just outright, not friend you or cancel it. There's some people that I do that too, but that's usually somebody who, if I look at their Facebook profile, there's nothing there other than one or two pictures, no post or very, very few posts, and there's not a lot of info about them. If there's a lot of information about them, where they live, what they do, if we have friends in common of some sort, if there's a lot of them, then chances are we probably know each other in the social world or the internetosphere. So that's somebody that I will friend. Now, the girl that I met today, she was actually a friend of mine. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll look at friends' Facebook pages and look at their friends and just start looking and seeing if there's girls that are local to me and read about them or see if they're nearby and just reach out and friend them or even message them, say hello from wherever you're at, with a smiley face. something like that, just something to break the ice might allow you to start interacting or chatting with them, and then next thing you know, you have a friend. That's the best way to find friends. At least in my opinion, Facebook is definitely the way to go. I've met so many people on Facebook. Chances are, if you're watching or listening to this podcast, you're a Facebook friend of mine. But then you can kind of take it a step further. Now, this girl that I met today, I found out one of the reasons I friended her is that she was listed as living in the same town as me. Well, when we went to chat, I found out she did live here, but she actually lives a couple towns over, but it's still definitely within driving distance, very short driving distance. So it worked out well for us to get together and actually meet. Now, meeting somebody, sometimes you're kind of taking a chance on it. It's usually, though, through social media, you can get to know a person pretty well. And the girl that I met today, I felt I had a pretty good feel about how she was. Talking to another person who is how I found this girl, found out that yes, she's been kind of going out, just starting to go out. She's looking for friends. So that was a good way for me to make a friend as well. You know, add her as a friend, reach out, introduce myself, tell her a bit about myself, and we started a conversation. Next thing you know, I was like, hey, I'm off today. I'm going to have a Jennifer day. If you're free, maybe we get together for coffee or something. Well, we didn't necessarily get together for coffee. We met at the local mall just to kind of chat and get to know each other. And it worked out very, very well. You know, there was no pressure on either side, meeting at some neutral place, like a mall or a store. You can maybe do a little shopping. We didn't. We just kind of sat on the bench outside of a store and just chatted for a half hour. But if you meet another girl, it is so fulfilling to you as a cross-dresser to meet somebody who right off the bat you have something in common. You know, looking at that person, you're going to see they are the same way as me. They enjoy dressing up as a woman just like I do. And right after, you know, from that point forward, you start to learn more about each other, ask each other questions, find out more. You know, do they have a family? Are they married? Have a significant other? How often do they dress? Have they been out dressing a lot? You know, the girl I was chatting with, she's only been out dressing for about 6 months, whereas I have been out dressing for quite some time now. So there's a lot of ground that you can cover, a lot you can talk about. Not only that, but kind of in this case, I think me being somebody who has dressed and been out in the public more often than my friend, maybe if she has questions, she can come to me as an older sister, a mentor, however you want to look at it. You know, even just chatting with her today, she was talking about how she sometimes gets scared going out, and I talked about my experiences as well, and we chatted about that. We chatted about all sorts of different stuff. You know, we chatted about our mutual families, our sexuality, where we see ourselves, you know, further down the road. And we got along very, very well. I'm really looking forward to the next time that she and I can get together. We're talking about going out for lunch or something like that. I suggested coffee. She's not a coffee drinker, but that's okay. We can always go somewhere else. You know, we can go to a store and go shopping. Maybe we'll put on our casual clothes and go to Goodwill together and see if we can find outfits or something. But it's great just to have. It's one thing to have that one-on-one connection via Facebook or via through social media, but it's much more fulfilling to have that where you can get together in person. You know, I gave her a goodbye hug just because it was so nice to meet somebody face to face. I haven't had face-to-face contact with another girl, another cross-dresser in so long. It was just nice to have somebody that I was like, we have a bond. We have something that we share that not everybody does. And it makes me feel better about the fact that I know somebody, and I think she felt the same way. So if you're a cross-dresser out there, you know, trust me, there's more girls like you in your area. You might have to dig a little bit, do some reaching out, test the waters, see who you can find. And who knows, you might find a lifelong friend in that. So there you go. All about friendship. As I said earlier, if you have any questions or have comments or anything, be sure and let me know. Jennifer's Tale Podcast at gmail.com. You can send me an email. Make a comment on the video. Make a comment on my Facebook page. I also have a Facebook page specific for Jennifer's Tale, My Life as a Crossdresser. And I hope to see you again next time. Until then, this is Jennifer saying hugs and kisses. Bye-bye.